Listen, we have a person on tonight. Her name is Yetti. I love that name already, right? Yetti. Yetti. You know, speaking of Yetti, you know, it's like the Yetti the cup. Let me just, I got a sidebar. So Cameron, you know Cameron, right? Yes. Cameron calls Michelle Two Mama, right? That's his name for Michelle. That's his Two Mama. So it's like, okay. But Cam was upset the other day. This is kids, right? So he's got like these Bendigo meal lunch boxes or whatever they call them, and he's got a Yetti. And so the other day he was getting ready for school, and he said, "Oh, I forgot my Yetti in my mom's car, so I got to go to school. I won't have my Yetti." It's like, well, Cam, you got this other cup that has water in it, but my water won't stay cold all day.
I know.
I'm like, okay. When I was 6 years old, I went to school with a brown paper bag and a little carton of milk that I got at school, right? So,
right.
It's interesting.
There were no bento boxes and Yetti cups.
And Yetti cups, right? Right. So, but the kids now, they got Yetti cups, bento boxes, and so.
Yes.
But anyway, we have a special Yetti with us tonight. Yetti is someone I have a lot of respect for because, number one, she's a phenomenal agent. She's doing wonderful things. She's got a history in real estate. I tell you what, she's incredible. She's incredible. The numbers that I see her put up. But what I like about Yetti is that she cares about the community, and she's not in it for the money. She's in it to help people. And so she's like us, you know, our desire is to help people. And then if the money comes with it, let it come, right? But let's help people. And she helps a lot of people. And so let's bring Yetti onto the screen and on the stage. Yetti.
Hey, Tony and Michelle.
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know what happened, but that is clear as day.
I came with my phone. I came with my phone now.
Okay.
You're on with your phone now?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Awesome. Yes. Well, okay. We are so happy that you are here and can share with us. And so I think when we were talking a little bit about how real estate and financial services both provide wealth building, but different. And so tell us some of the differences that you're experiencing now that you're still doing both, but talk to us a little bit more about the financial services and what are some of the things you're doing there?
The financial services products, you know, what really separates us from the real estate investment is it has best of both worlds. You know, the real estate market, it goes up and down, and the financial product that you and I are offering to the public or to the consumers, whenever the market goes up, we participate on the gains. But whenever the market goes down, it does not matter. We don't even lose a penny. So it is so beautiful. And then sometimes I think, you know, I wish if real estate is running the same way as certain financial products are really functioning, because the market is high like today. And when the market corrects itself, if we remain where we are and then keep on going, whenever the market try to recover, just move up from where we stopped. It is wonderful. But the nature of the business in the real estate side is not like that. But I love the financial products that offers the downside protection. So we always worry and focus on the gain side when the market goes up. That is a happy day for me and my clients. But when the market goes down, we go to bed and, you know, have a good night's sleep. Nothing to worry. So it's a stress-free investment. I love it.
You know, Yetti, I often say that I like to sleep at night. So I know that whatever I'm doing with a customer, that I'll be able to sleep at night and that type of thing. I know this. I know that you're really passionate about helping the community. And, you know, when I listen to your podcast, you really talked about that. I'd like for you to just kind of talk about that a little bit about, you know, why you're so passionate about helping the community and helping people that maybe don't know about some of the things that you do.
Well, I am a God-fearing woman, and I believe we all are born to win. But certain group of people, because they don't have time to evaluate and do enough research, because they do one job, two jobs, sometimes three jobs. Because I remember myself when I was in, when I get closer to my 20th year, like 17, 18, 19, all the way to age 25, I know how hard I worked. And then I know how many jobs I used to have. So there are so many people, even in my age and your age, who are doing 2-3 jobs, and they don't have time to really do enough research before they own the products that we're offering. And at the same time, the industry offers license to those who passed the board exam, whether they understood the material in the industry standard or not. We're not in a government position. But if we love this industry, I feel I have an obligation to share the truth about the product and to protect all God-created beautiful people. I've seen many of them are targeted and becoming a victim in my own, in the Ethiopian and Eritrean community, because it is done just like in the data entry profession. You come in and they said, how old are you? What's your name? What's your social security number? No one knows what they own. I ask them, they come with their package. I review policies. Like, it's not like 1 or 2 policies per day. I review many policies. And I say, who did this? And they say their cousin. Who did this? My sister. Who did this? My childhood friend. Who did this? Someone that I worked in this company when I was, at XYZ company. Who did this? Somebody that I met at Starbucks when I was purchasing coffee. Who did this? It's so many crazy. Somebody texted me, called me, to death. And they said, I just got fed up and I just surrender. And I said, yes, and go ahead and do it. So I'll have a peace of mind from that phone call and texting and bothering that is coming. Wow. And the very sad thing, when we ask some of them, they said, where did you get it? They said, I got it from my church, from the pastor or from the priest who referred me to such and such, or he's doing it and then he did it. This business is open and available to all people with no discrimination. But when you do it for money, and when you really do it because you love to protect people and you love to educate about how it functions, and you give them an option to go and shop around somewhere else, it's totally different. So it hurts it broke my heart every time I see those kind of, policies. And it's done in the wrong way. And then those people, they think that they do have policies that will last up to number of years, 120, 121. And they said, oh, my agent told me that, this will really give me a very fantastic, layback, easy retirement life. And I say, can I see the money? And the money, when they bring their annual statement, if that agent showed them an illustration just to get them excited and sold by the idea, everything is just messed up. And then it shows, let's say, $1,000 on the first year. On the illustration, calculated with over 7% interest rate. Today, as of December 12, 2020, no agent is allowed to show an illustration over 6%. Right. But I see people still today bringing an illustration calculated by 7.2, 7.6%. Then what does that mean? When you calculate with 4%, 5%, 7%, the number goes up. What they see is those numbers.
Right.
It looks good. It looks
and then
good.
I said, let's meet again during your 1 year anniversary. Bring your statement and let's sit down and talk. What was happened 1 year ago? They bring it, and then that cash value that show them that the people, the agent, the so-called agent, showed them, it shows $1,000. And that $1,000 on the statement is $300. And I say, can you tell me where the $700 went? Did you ask your agent where it went? Is it in his pocket, or is it in the rich insurance company, wall or light, or on the window, on the door? Where is it? On the CEO's pocket? Where is it? I mean, I need to know, because we're very serious about this. It's our obligation to protect our community in general, the minorities everywhere, in every community. They're completely being a victim by people who has license. I cannot call them professionals, but when you see that, they're God created people. You are God created beautiful person. Everybody really is here. We all are here on this planet to try hard as much as we can and achieve as much as we can. But you shouldn't be the one, or I shouldn't be the one, who really stop that individual from succeeding by cheating them, by misleading them, by telling them something that could not happen with the product that they give them. Sometimes, I just share the product with other people and I say, such and such product, this and that. Some of the people who knows how numbers work, they know products by name and they say, oh, that's a crappy product. I wouldn't even kick it with my shoes, let alone holding it under my arm, let alone putting it in my drawer. So those are the things that you hear from those who understand numbers, and then my fellow minority people in general from all parts of the world. They don't understand that. So, we have to educate them. The passion came from that, because I can't stand it when you or me or somebody else is, trying to take advantage of somebody, another person who is illiterate on a certain things. No, that's not right. That is not right at all. So I'm just trying to do my best to correct some of the people, to save some of the people from being really hurt by the financial revolution that is going on right now. It's not going to stop because our community do not understand. It's not going to stop because some of the people said, oh, I got it from my cousin, I got it from my mom, I got it from such and such. That I know this thing doesn't require any emotion. It is just number from 0 to 9. Let's talk about numbers. If it makes sense, you take it. If it does not make sense, go shop around. We want to be better too as a professional. To get better, it's the consumer's responsibility to educate themselves from every agent that they meet, learn about whatever they have, go shop around and compare the numbers. That's what I'm begging every consumer out there. There's no special for a certain community. All of them are God-created beautiful people. They're born to win. So we have to make sure that they won. We have to make sure that they get the best of the best that meets their family requirements and that meets their requirements, what they want.
Well, Yetti, you're so passionate about it. I love it. And you're right. Sometimes the way things are presented, and not only insurance, but a number of different things. It's like the old car sales, that old cliche or stereotype, and sometimes agents have done things that make it harder for the legitimate ones to come along, right? Same thing with consultants. Some consultants have taken people's money, not giving value. And so we want to make sure that we know our craft, right? We want to make sure that we understand, that we know our product. And I like what you said. You said a lot of things that kind of cracked me up. Like, you wouldn't even kick it with your shoe,
Right.
I mean, that's a bad policy, right? That's horrible. You wouldn't even kick it,
Oh, yeah.
But, that the numbers speak for themselves. And so we've seen that where people will present numbers and it gives people an unrealistic expectation. And I think that's what happens. And that's why people don't answer the phone, because they've given these unrealistic expectations. I tell people all the time, when I see you, if you buy a policy from me, when I see you at the grocery store, I'm not going to have to dodge you. I'm not going to have to go to another aisle. I'm not going to have to walk out the door real quick. I can be able to walk up. God forbid me if I can get your name, because I ain't, sometimes the names, but I will be able to look you square in the eye and know that I did what was best for you. And sometimes that's a bitter pill, because sometimes what I'm going to tell you isn't going to look as attractive as the person down the street, but it's going to be the truth. And for me, I'd rather have the truth than for someone to sell me a pipe dream of something that can do something that it can't. So very, very interesting. So Yetti, I'm just interested. How do you reach your community? Tell us how from a business owner, businesswoman standpoint, tell us what you're doing to reach your community. What type of marketing do you do? How do you reach your community?
Well, reaching my community in general for any business person, I'm just giving you the basic principle of business. It's just all over across the board. All businesses, they have basic similarity. So for me, in order to say that I'm a good business person, what have I done and how did I treat the clients that I had yesterday in front of my desk, in front of me? And then doing my real estate business in the past 20 years, the market has been up and down. Were there people really misled and hurt because of the service that I gave? That is a big question for anybody who wants to deal with me. So I do it very, very carefully in a way that benefits the consumers. Like I said on my podcast, I'm not here for me in both industries. Even in the past, in everything that I touched, I want to make sure that what I have is really changing the consumer's life one way or the other. So the business or maybe creating an advocate is one thing. If you want to have continuous business. So I handled it, every transaction is like a family, a new family that I'm meeting, a new family that I'm going to add into my family tree. So when you really do it in that manner, and then you give them all the options, all the flexibility, sometimes even you have to say no with a reason. You don't have to sound somebody who can make a decision for your customer, but point out why you don't like this one, why you don't want them to buy this house. Everybody must say wow for that house. For me as their agent, to feel comfortable and confident about selling it back to somebody else. I mean, once they come in, the exit strategy for all financial services, real estate, or any other business that you're in, they come into you, make sure that you serve them to the best of your knowledge. I mean, the best of the best, first-class service. Then advocacy is going to start from there. Then a year come, if it needs a review, you don't have to hide from your clients. Most of the policies that I see, the agents, or I don't know how to say the agents, those people who gave them, the government gave them license. Yeah, they hide from the consumers. They hide from the public place because I know how that feels because I've never went through it, and then I've seen it when the real estate market crashed. Everybody just don't want to see anybody's face. I was confident. My chin was up when I walk around my community or all the people that I served, as a matter of fact. I have Ethiopians, I have Eritreans, I have other African like Ghanaians, I have Kenyans, I have European from Netherlands, and I have African American, I have white American, you name it. I served all of them in the past 21 years. But we're still friends. They hear from me minimum 6 times a year. And we go out and have lunch. We really look at each other like family members. There are other things that we celebrate together beside their home anniversary or their policy anniversary. So it takes a lot to continue to have a continuous business. So education is one thing. When you educate them, they're human beings. We don't need to treat them like a little baby. Oh, get this and the best, this is the best. And I heard last night when I slept, God was telling me that death is knocking on your door. So you're the next one. That's what it is told in my community. When some of them tell me, there was a lady who called me that somebody really that they consider big, I guess, and whatever number of group of people, he told me that what guarantee do you have if you live for the next 7 years? So you better get a 10 years policy. And when I look at the lady, there is no way, unless a tree fall on her or the house that she's living burn down while she's sleeping so she cannot run and save her life. There's no way that she looks like somebody who's really in some kind of health challenge who's going to die in the next 10 years.
It's
and I say, yeah. So the selling tactic is very dirty, very backward, very much, it makes you very much ashamed of being part of a certain group of people, because, there are certain people who doesn't like to hear about insurance because of those kind of people who have government issue license. Can we put them that way? Because it is very hard to know.
Well, just because you can go and take the test and pass it doesn't mean that you know the product. I want to ask you something, and you can defer and not answer this if you want. But as you were talking, you're talking about all the different people that you serve. I just want to kind of get a little bit and ask you, what has there been challenges for you? Because number one, you're in a male-dominated industry. Let's be honest, you're in a white male-dominated industry, right? And here you are a Black woman in this industry. You weren't born in America, and so I think that there had to have been challenges that you faced, but from everything that I've seen, you've overcome those stereotypes and have done really well. So has there been any challenges there, or has it been pretty smooth for you?
Believe it or not, the way I was raised, and then where I came from Ethiopia. We've never been colonized by anyone, and color doesn't exist in our book as a nationality of, national, in general, the country or the citizens. We don't know color. We know human beings. We know God created people. We know God is not discriminating. So what I have in my mind is not color. We all have 24 hours. How are we using those 24 hours? Where are we spending those 24 hours? Unless they say that you do not belong here, and they shut the door on my face, which I have never experienced that. But I just mix with everybody. I take all the expensive courses or medium pay courses, $1,000 course, $500 course, $10,000 course. I attended. For your information, I signed up on a $15,000 coaching, financial coach. And I think maybe myself and one person from New Jersey are the only minorities. The rest of them are from the majority group, as you said, mainly white male and white female. But to me, I heard such and such is white, such and such is Black. And then there are more detail into it. But for me, when I see people with 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 hands, and a mouth, to me, a man or a woman, people, God created people. So I make sure that what I have to present is really heard. If they have any problem with my accent, there's nothing I can do because I was not born, and I'm going to have my children trained on this business and say it without an accent. So, but I do have an accent, and people never complain about my accent. But the solution
I personally love your accent. Honestly, I do.
I
think you sound so cool.
Yeah.
You said something, and I think it's very important. I don't want people to miss this, because Yetti, people look at your success, right? At First Financial Security, you are one of the most successful agents there, okay? And we've been in a lot of meetings together, and you just said something that I think was very important. You said you got a coach.
Yes.
There's not many agents that I've talked spoken with that ever said, hey, listen, I got a coach. Tell us a little bit about why you got a coach and what that did for your career.
Having a coach for all business people, including consumers that do not have a good understanding about what they want to achieve, is very, very important. For me, for my success in my real estate business and the financial service business, my coaches have a big role. I have 5 coaches. 4 of them are paid coaches. 1 is the company coach, First Financial Security offered me. And you and I are in that group. No, not that one. We are in the Champions Club. But the other one that they picked 12 people nationwide, and I'm one of the 12 people.
Yeah, okay. So we're in
that is the 5th one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the 5th one.
So I actually, when you were saying that, I was thinking you were going to be talking about Shirley Lou, because we're both in Shirley Lou's area. Shirley Lou was on our show a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And you know Shirley came in like a firecracker. But I just think that's very important to have a coach and being able to spend that money. Michelle, I mean,
so do I.
You've had experience with coaching. What did it make a difference in your career?
Absolutely. What coaches do is shorten your learning curve. They do. They shorten your learning curve. Whatever you're working on, they shorten the path to get there. And even people that don't have businesses should get a life coach, because it shortens your learning gap and time. And time is the commodity that we will never get back. So having a coach is very important to the growth of you professionally and just in your daily life, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. So here's ladies where I want to go next. And then we're 9 o'clock. I want to go here. So we talked about getting a coach, but give me a little bit about the mindset, because I think people sometimes hire a coach, but they're not coachable.
Yeah.
So how do you stay coachable in that process? And so, and you, Yetti, with all your success, how do you stay coachable?
Your dream makes you committed to the coach, whatever the coach tells you. A person with no dream cannot do anything.
Right.
You want to achieve something, but you don't want to do it like on a trial and error basis. You jump into the swimming pool without knowing how to swim. You swim or sink, right? You don't want the surprise of death at the end. So if you don't want your business to die, if you want to do it professionally without a coach, it's a wrong thing, that you're going to hurt so many people. That is what I'm seeing in a daily basis. People are learning on other people's financial future. That's not the right way to do this business. Yep. Yeah. So having a coach is a very important thing, and being coachable is also equally important. If you're not coachable, then what you really dream to be achieved is not going to come. Your dream is not going to come true, because coaching is going to tell you exactly what you need to do today, in the morning, in the afternoon, the next day, the next week, the next month, and then the next 90 days. So if you follow every instruction that is given by your coach, then you get to where you want to be. The excitement, it's just well worth it. I mean, uncomparable. Priceless result is waiting ahead for you if you follow it. That's why I like people, all people, to try, whether they are a government given, people gave them license, or whether they call themselves licensed and doing it on a trial and error basis on somebody else's future, or whether they are a licensed professional who are doing it somehow okay on their own. They all need to see what First Financial Security has. That success track is the key, is the bread and butter. Without that, I mean, we've seen people coming and not doing anything. And then there are so many of them. Go to the Insurance Commission website, DPOR or any other location. when you go there and just search certain last name, Jackson, for example, Tony Jackson, search for Jackson. If there are 100 Jacksons, the way that they do it like a mob, you hear all the Jacksons. They were a licensed agent at one time without understanding, or whether, you know, they've been misled, and then you see them inactive. Jackson is inactive. Esatu is inactive. And Michelle is inactive. I mean, why are they here? It costs money anyways. Their time is the most precious and expensive thing that they have in their hands. But we have to be very open and transparent. Being coachable naturally, or staying motivated. How do a person stay motivated? Because of what they wish to achieve. If you want to, you know, if you wish to achieve something bigger than you've never had in the past, then you know what it takes if you have a coach. If you don't have a coach, you're just dreaming, you know, you're in your daydream, but no activity, no activity. At the end of the day, you will be the first or maybe the 1,001 individual that will return his or her license. Because we all are born with some kind of gift by God. We have potential. There are certain things that we cannot do, certain things that we're born to do. Already the seed is in there. Little water will make it flourish. But when people recruit other people, I really don't know what the meaning of it, but they say, oh, the sky is falling, you know, the sky is falling from the cloud. So all you have to do is just hold your hand like this. Open the door, the money was just like a fall leaf. It's just when the wind blows, it will come to your house. And that is called money. I said, no. You completely are sold by something that is not true. So we have to be really honest. Tell them the truth. It takes a lot of hard work. To be a self-employed is equally to me like a soldier who went to war and came back with one in one piece. So it's like a big victory. You don't even know when the money is coming tomorrow. You don't know when the next paycheck or the next income is coming. But God gave you that potential for you to make the most out of it and create whatever you want. The sky's the limit. You decide $100,000 is enough. You can do it. Is it $500,000? You can do it. In our company, there are people who made $1.8 million in 12 months. Is it doable? Absolutely. But did they really earn it? Just like people say, oh, put your hands out, and then it just... No, they work for it. No. Yeah. This industry completely misunderstood, mishandled, and then a lot of people became a victim. We're not interested in taking their $50, $100. Even the companies, the brokers that we're serving, I don't know what others are thinking, but our company, as you know, First Financial Security, they're not here for the $100 or the $50, whatever to join, you know, everybody has to pay. No. The package that each individual receives as a welcome kit costs them more than what this individual is paying, or I pay, or you're paid. So we're not into that, but we want to make a difference into our community in terms of financial freedom, generational wealth, and then change other people's career. I mean, if there are so many people who are looking for a better opportunity, and then just because they didn't meet the right person, they jump into something that they're not born for. They jump into something that they're not interested. Everything needs interest and the love of to do that specific thing. So without that, hey, forget it. It's not going to happen. So we're for that. I'm sure you're for that too. So we have to be honest and transparent.
You know, Yetti, it's been an awesome conversation. Again, I think it's inspiring, your energy, your passion, and for doing the right thing. Yeah. You know, and I think that's important. I love some key points that I picked up from what you said is number one, I think the coaching was huge. You talked about success tracks. And for those of you who do not know, that's training. And so you gotta be coached, you gotta train. Is there any great athlete that you know that have achieved the pinnacle of their profession, right? Basketball, NBA championship, Masters championship, Stanley Cup, whatever it is. they had two things that they had to do to get there. They had to train and they had to have a coach.
Yep.
And if you don't do those two things, if you don't train and you don't have a coach and listen to your coach, you won't get there. And I think that's so important because it is important. It's a key to success, proper training, and have a coach.
Yep, absolutely.
And so if there's anything that I've taken away from your visit on our show tonight, it's those two things. So as we close down, as we conclude the show, I want to give you just one last opportunity. Any last words of encouragement or anything you'd like to share with our audience? We have several people who are on the team that watch. We have a lot of customers that watch, just a variety of people, some that are neither. So what would be your last words of encouragement as we sign off?
My last encouragement words, Tony, is number one, I would like to thank you so much, you and Michelle, for inviting me to this show. Number two, the main thing that I want our audience to always remember is we all are born to win. Our community is always going to another community to get the same service that is already available in the community. Why is that? Professionals. If there are professionals who are listening in here, I want you to hear me clearly. Professionals are obligated to serve up to the industry standard. If they serve up to the industry standard, let alone people in our community, somebody else from another community comes. In other professions, I've seen it in the lawyers and medical profession. Color doesn't exist when that professional is expert in what he does or she does. So we really have to work on our ethics. We really have to work on our professionalism. We really have to work on caring and loving for other human beings, whether they are people in our community or somewhere else. Until we fix that thing, those things that I mentioned, people from our community go and get the service from another community that is already worthy, just as equal as the industry. So what do we want? We want to be worthy as a minority. We want to be somebody that others look at and get impressed and get advice how we made it to this level. We are capable of doing it. There are things that needs to be fixed, but again, it comes down to coaching. That is what I tell for everybody that I coach. You can do it, but these are things 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you okay? I mean, are you willing to change in this area? When they said yes, nobody can stop them. It does not matter which color, which continent, which this, which that.
That's
Nothing
awesome.
can stop it. Yeah. But we need to work. Without that, we always remain where we are, complaining. Complaining is not going to fix our problem. Our problem, we have to admit our weaknesses, work on it, and be at the top. That is what I have for everybody in our community. Tony Jackson.
Boom. There it is.
Yep.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. Well spoken. Well spoken.
Yes.
Michelle, anything you have to add?
Man, how can I top that? Like, one, have a vision for your life.
Yeah.
2, get a coach to help you reach the vision, and then put in the work. That's all. I mean, the ingredients are simple. People don't always want to take all the ingredients, but if you leave one ingredient out of a cake recipe, you won't have a very good cake. So, all of those make for successful professionals.
That's awesome, because you're right. She did mention, Yetti mentioned a lot about what's your goal, what's your dream, what's your why, and all those type of things. Listen, every Timothy needs a Paul. Every Timothy needs a Paul. Every single person needs a coach. And honestly, every coach needs a student.
Mm-hmm.
And it's reciprocal, and it's very important. So Yetti, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to be with us today. I know you were in the meeting earlier today. We had, I think it was Champions Club meeting or something like that. That was earlier. Yes. So thank you so much for being with us. And I know you're busy. I know you're busy because I see your numbers. You think I'm not watching. I'm watching you, Yetti. I got to try to catch. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm coming. I'm coming. Listen, but the key is to serve more people, love God, and just always do your best. Put others' needs in front of your own. Mm-hmm. And in time, you'll have everything that you desire.